There are no shadows in the Underdark. There is no room for imagination in the Underdark. It is a place of alertness, but not aliveness, a place with no room for hopes and dreams.
Underdark Civilizations. I have walked the wilds of the Underdark for countless unseen sunrises. And in all the world never have I met a predatory species as dangerous as those who dwell in the bastions of so-called civilization that have grown up in the depths of the night below, impenetrable. Lurker Sornseth Deepsong, herald of the Night's Fallen, year of the Remembering Stones. While a thin veneer of familiarity cloaks Underdark enclaves, most are alien, nightmarish cousins of the cities found above. Whereas on the surface, civilized races live in settlements of varying sizes, the perils of the Underdark are such that few individuals or groups survive outside a fortress city. The Underdark is more akin to an archipelago in a dead sea than a temperate habitat with bountiful resources. As such, underground beings tend to live close together, founding their cities in the scattered handful of caverns capable of supporting life. There, they fiercely defend themselves against all challengers. Above, cities grow as sentient beings come together for mutual defense, social interaction, or trade. Below, these familiar trappings are twisted by the psychology that the dark, labyrinthine tunnels impose, the unending struggle for scarce resources, and racial histories of exile and bitterness. By nature, most Underdark cultures turn in on themselves, veneration of evil powers flourishes, and cruelty reigns unchecked. Most Deep Realm cities are xenophobic enclaves dominated by one or two races that wage genocidal war on their neighbors, practice extensive slave trading, and rule through intolerant monotheistic theocracies. Only an elite minority of Underdark city dwellers dare to travel the tunnels between civilizations. And rare are the civilizations that grow beyond a single city-state for any significant length of time. A wide range of sentient beings have established cities in the Underdark, although the diversity of intelligent life does not yet match that found on the surface. Many established races of the Underdark are not native. Instead, their ancestors were driven underground as punishment for hideous crimes. Others immigrated voluntarily, and a few are believed to have evolved in the endless darkness. Of these races, 9 stand out due to their cultures and interaction with the surface world: Aboleth, Beholders, Cloakers, Drow, Dwarves, Illithids, Ixen, Quatoa, and Sverfneblin. These are by no means the most powerful or even most prolific race in the Underdark. But these have been the most prominent and deadly in recent centuries.
Aboleth are loathsome, lawful, evil amphibians resembling plump fish, 20 feet long from their bulbous heads to their flukelike tails. Most have blue-green bodies with gray splotches. Their pinkish-tan underbellies conceal a toothless, rubbery mouth. 3 red eyes like slits protected by bony ridges sit in a column on the front of their heads. 4 pulsating dark blue orifices line the bottom of their bodies and secrete gray slime that smells like rancid grease. 4 leathery tentacles, each 10 feet in length, grow from their heads. Aboleth are difficult to look at as they are to deal with. In water, Aboleth propel themselves with their tails. On land, they use their tentacles to drag themselves along. The tentacles have another function too, transforming land dwellers into semi-aquatic beings. At touch, a victim's skin becomes clear and slimy, requiring near constant immersion. Fortunately, Aboleth naturally release a mucus cloud when submerged that enables land dwellers to breathe underwater. Unfortunately, this is a land dweller's hook into slavery. Using natural psionics, these monsters can create realistic illusions, complete with audible, olfactory, and other sensory components. In addition, they use psionics to enslave other creatures and communicate telepathically. About 2% of the population, notable for the bony ridges protecting their oversized craniums and calcified nodules along their unusually tough tentacles, possess the exceptional mental gifts to become savants. Savant Aboleth are even more difficult than their kin in mental domination. They are also powerful wizards and priests capable of spellcasting and creating magical symbols through psionic force. Savant Aboleth typically attain up to 14th level as wizards and up to 12th level as priests. The origins of Aboleth are lost in the midst of primordial time, and they are believed to have evolved to their present state in the deepest Underdark. Perhaps shaped by dark primeval powers long forgotten by other races, Aboleth acquire all of their parents' knowledge at birth, plus the knowledge of any intelligent being they consume. Thus, they hold countless ancient secrets of their own past as well as those of many other races they have devoured. Savant Aboleth use a complex symbol system for all written communication. Purloined fragments of these writings provide the only lore regarding these mysterious and horrifying beings that has passed into the hands of other races. Great Aboleth cities, as well as the Savant Aboleth who rule them, are found only in the deepest Underdark, but individual common Aboleth are sometimes encountered in aquatic settings in the upper and middle Underdark. Although the Aboleth are the unchallenged rulers of the lower Underdark across Faerun, their domination is felt most in the eastern and southern reaches of the continent, beneath the oldest human kingdoms. For millennia, they have existed unchallenged and unchanging, slowly bringing more and more beings under their control. Cabals of a Savant Aboleth organize and run Aboleth societies as rulers and dominators. They rarely leave their cities, sending ordinary Aboleth to capture slaves and collect food. In some communities, a single Savant Aboleth rises above its peers and assumes the title of Grand Savant. But even a Grand Savant's power is never absolute. Savant Aboleths make decisions through consensus, engaging in prolonged debates through telepathic communication. They rarely act hastily. Savant Aboleth are always hungry for magical items and lore. They share their mastery of magic skills and their knowledge of dark arcane secrets with each other through long periods of telepathic communication. Although need not memorize wizard spells, regaining them automatically through rest, Savant Aboleth are believed to be able to exchange spells, and thus slowly alter their roster of available magic. The greatest savants are capable of wizardry to rival the most powerful archmages, but their skills at producing glyphs and magical symbols are believed to be the vessel of their most powerful magical manipulations. While some Aboleth venerate Gwandador, particularly in its aspect as Jubilex the Slime Lord, most common Aboleth and all Savant Aboleth worship the Blood Queen. The wizard priests who make up her clergy ruthlessly follow her creed of domination and oppression. Aboleth cities are typically found at the bottom of great subterranean lakes, up to 300 feet below the water's surface. Aboleth can survive far deeper, but few of their surface-dwelling slaves can join them without magical protection from the pressure and cold. Such cities are composed of great stone towers of different heights, although most are 1 or 2 stories with smooth, fluted, spiraling contours that appear evil and alien, yet strangely beautiful. Many walls have arabesque decorations, with what appear to be rubbery tentacle frowns covered with a thin coat of slime. Ceilings range from 10 to 25 feet in height. Typical building decor includes murals, urns, vases, statuettes set in alcoves created by fluted internal walls. An Aboleth dwells alone in its towers. Aside from its slaves, the grandest towers are inhabited by Savant Aboleth. Slaves are typically barracked in the upper reaches of such towers. Great sloping ramps replace the curved stairs found in surface structures, and most portals are intricately carved archways. Although their cities only occupy a fraction of any given Underdark lake, Aboleth literally dominate all intelligent life in the vicinity, extending their rule throughout a lake and the surrounding caverns. As a result, few other races willingly reside near an Aboleth city. Those that do are small and thoroughly dominated. Aboleth consume nearly any organic matter, deriving most of their subsistence from algae and microorganisms. They rely on their natural weaponry, magic, and psionic skills for most of their food, so they have little need for agriculture, animal husbandry, mining, smithing, or any other civilized activities. However, Aboleth do maintain great kelp farms and deep growth herds to sustain their slave population. and quarries to build their great stone towers. Explorers can easily overlook the presence of a major aboleth city. The marks are subtle. Few inhabitants in the region, unintended wrath herds on isolated islands and vast kelp beds along the lake floor. Aboleth have no natural enemies and are greatly feared by the Underdark races. These monsters view all other intelligent races as either food or slaves. Only Ixen, despite their chaotic nature, exhibit a natural affinity for the Aboleth and serve them willingly. Many Aboleth cities employ scum, a race bred from humanoid genetic stock to serve as beasts of burden and powerful fighting machines. Scum do not resemble their humanoid ancestors, possessing a tail like an aboleth and 4 extremely strong limbs. Each limb extends in a webbed paw with 2 fingers and an opposable thumb, and each digit ends in a retractable claw. A scum's body is covered with a clear, slimy, hairless, grayish-green membrane. Scum lack external ears, and their eyes are like an aboleth's, an eerie shade of purplish red, but more spherical.